Welcome one and all to a very sunny Sunday morning here at Karting Genk, the home of champions. It's day 2, round 1 of the 2019 BNL Karting Series season. We're broadcasting live on the Circuit Commentary PA, our video live stream through our good friends at Cam Company GmbH, and of course our audio stream partner at Downforce Radio, the nation's motorsport station. The meeting today was initially declared wet by the series organisers, but now, as of qualifying, it will be a dry race meet. Rainfall overnight saw that there was quite a few damp patches, and the track was quite heavily saturated, but thankfully no standing puddles. But there is a definitive dry line showing. We'll be getting underway with qualifying very, very soon. And as we'll have it, the last session out on track at the moment has just been completed, which was the final of 8 7-minute warm-up sessions with OK and OK Junior just having completed their running. So the format for today will be exactly the same as yesterday. We will have 8 separate 5-minute qualifying sessions for all 8 categories. Junior and Senior Max will have Groups 1 and 2, respectively, decided by lottery, which were decided yesterday evening. We'll have Micro and Minimax having their own separate qualification sessions, with DD2 and DD2 Masters and OK Junior running alongside each other, before the racing action gets underway at around about 10:30 this morning, as Frank Chapard from France in the 234 from VDK Racing saw a clean top 5 sweep for France and also for VDK Racing. And also in terms of the OK Juniors, it was Lois Delbar from Belgium in the 112 that took the fastest time in warm-up, but we're about to get underway in just a couple of moments with qualifying. It's been an exciting first day of action, as you probably heard yesterday, not just on the Downforce Radio live stream audio-wise, but also on the playlists, which are now available for you to view at your viewing pleasure, live and wherever you are in the world if you have a data connection or a Wi-Fi signal. My thoughts over yesterday, unpredictable. I'm expecting quite the same today as well. We'll be having Ben van der Stucken on the video live stream conducting some interviews later on. He'll be joining us around about sort of lunchtime. Many happy returns to both Patsy Peters for yesterday and Matthew Higgins, who's in Junior Max and 275, so the Brit celebrates his birthday. So wishing them all the very best for today. So now it is time to get the qualifying stages. So 5 minutes per session. Every driver has to be at the absolute optimum over the attempts to get the perfect lap in, or to get the best lap in possible that's going to allow them to be at the front of the field. Qualifying will decide, in terms of Junior and Senior Max, where they're going to place and which groups they will be respectively placed in. So we'll have 3 groups competing. Each driver will compete in 2 qualifying heats, with the top 28 automatically qualifying in both categories to the top 36 final, which will be the last 2 races of the day. And then we will also have the second chance heat qualifiers, where the top 8 will, on merit, go through to the last 8 on the grid. But it is time to get qualifying underway for the first time for day 2 here. And this is Junior Max Group 1. So the timer has already started ticking down as drivers start making their way off of the pre-grid. So in this session we've got the likes of Gianni Andrisani from Germany, Flynn Schuring, Mailen Coppens, who stormed from 11th to 4th in the top 36 final, having some great battles with the likes of Mike van Vught, who eventually won that final. Matt Higgins was in the mix, as was Dan Ginchard, and Chris Harnan, who was very, very quick and knows this circuit very well as well. So expect some unexpected action, or unpredictable action thereof, later on today. So 3 minutes and 40. Drivers are starting to come through the final sector, which includes Coppens, Flint Schuring, Frederik Janssen, Alexander Abskava, Bruno Mulders, Tom Heinertz, who have accredited themselves well this weekend. It's not been easy for the youngsters that have just joined the junior ranks from Minimax, with Tom Heinertz being last year's 2018 BNL Karting Series Minimax champion, and accredited himself well in the kick-off. He has been in the thick of the action this weekend. First times coming in, Minen Koppens from Belgium in the 244. Fastest at the minute by nearly 2.5 tenths over Christian de Klein from the Netherlands. Will Jenkins in third, ahead of Dan Zopfi, Tom Heinertz and Drake Jansen, with Matthew Higgins, birthday boy today, in 7th position, with Oscar Christensen, Rasmus Vendelbo and Flint Schuring rounding out the top 10. And we've gone sub 60 already. That's a really good improvement from Minen Koppens, who's done a 57.457. Dan Zopfi again also goes sub 58, as does Christensen, Andresani, Zopfi, de Klein. As Matthew Higgins goes top with a 57.386 with provisional pole for this group at the moment. Ate Mikhailov has just gone up into 11th place, with Lukas Schoenmakers from the Netherlands jumping up into 8th position. Daniel Solankov has gone up into 14th in the 277. And now with the top 9 having gone sub 58 seconds, with Rasmus Andersen being a fraction away from that, in fact, about 0.43 off of that barrier. So we're going to find out who's going to be improving at the moment. Higgins is really putting the hammer down. He's done a 22.4 in the first sector. And Koppens and Andresani are now part of the top 2, as Higgins responds and goes sub 56. That's a great improvement from the Brit. He did a 22.4 in sector 1, 16.6 sector 2, and then did a 16.8. And it was a 10th quicker than Tom Heinertz, who's just jumped up into 2nd position in this qualifying session. Schoenmaker's up into 4th. And now we have the top 11 drivers sub 57 seconds at the minute. We've got just over 60 seconds of this qualifying session yet to go. So is there going to be anyone that's going to challenge Matthew Higgins at the top of the field? Well, we'll find out very, very soon indeed. Heinertz is on a flyer. He's done a 22.3 and a 16.4 in the first 2 sectors. Koppens now back up into 3rd position, ahead of Rendelbo from Denmark. Schoenmakers completes the top 5. Well, that's quickly changed, because Tom Heinertz has gone 2nd, 55.928 from Matt Higgins. So Heinertz goes top now, 55.590. So the Dutch driver with GKS 11's power has just gone up to the top of the timesheets in this qualifying session. 15 seconds on the clock left to go. Solankov down in 17th position. Bruno Mulders 11th. Rasmus Andersen and Jaroslav Zimaszka also make incremental increases. Zimaszka in 15th. Andersen in 6th, as the checker flag now waves to conclude that first qualifying session of the day. And it is, well, I'll just keep an eye out. Minen Koppens, 7th fastest. Christensen, Oscar Christensen from RS Competition is 4th. Matt Higgins goes 4th, actually, and drops Christensen to 5th, as Will Jenkins jumps up into 3rd position. But Tom Heinertz is confirmed. No, it's not. What a lap from Lukas Schoenmakers from the Netherlands. And it's a Dutch 1-2 at the top. So the 2:03 from the Netherlands, Lukas Schoenmakers, makes it a great effort towards pole position. 55.544 for the Dutch driver. Tom Heinertz makes it a Dutch 1-2, 0.046 off of his countryman. Will Jenkins and Matthew Higgins represent the Brits in the top 4, 3rd and 4th respectively, ahead of Oscar Christensen. Drake Jansen and Rasmus Vendelbo round out the top 7, ahead of Gianni Andresani from Germany, Rasmus Andersen from Denmark, and Minen Koppens in the 244 from Belgium, rounding out the top 10. Completing the 19 strong in this particular group, Minen Koppens was in 10th, ahead of Christian de Klein, Alexander Abskava, Jaroslav Zimaszka ending up 13th in the end, ahead of Bruno Mulders, Daniel Sarankov, Ate Mikhailov, Dan Zopfi, Flint Schuring, and Daniel Hunt rounding out the 19 strong. The top 18 were separated by just under 1.3 seconds after that particular session. So that is the first of 8 qualifying sessions completed. So now we will have Group 2 up very, very shortly. So for those wondering possibly on what the weather is going to be doing at the moment, well, we have got some blue sky around the circuit. The clouds have sort of started coming over the track, but it's not as gloomy as it was yesterday, if I'm completely honest. So we could be looking at some sun with a little bit of overcast. No real sort of chance of precipitation, I think. Humidity is at 83%. We've got a north-northeast wind at around about 12 kph with gusts of up to 15 kilometres an hour at a maximum. So Group 2 for Junior Max qualifying now underway. Timer has started ticking down. So we've got the likes of some of the stern challengers that were in the melee that was the Junior Max finale last night. Dan Ginchard, we also got Chris Harnan, Danny Van Dyke, who is Mr. Dynamic when it comes to overtaking around the outside at turn 2. Mike Van Vugt, the defending BNL Karting Series Junior Max champion, running the 201 plate. Kai Hillertz, who I spoke to, him and his mum this morning. They're looking forward to having some better results today. Callum Voisin could be in the mix as well. Jeff Machiels, let's say that hopefully he has a better day in the office, having a little bit of a clash with Tom Heinertz in one of the races yesterday, which put Tom on the back foot, and Jeff still carried on and managed to get a top 10 finish at the end of it all. So we'll see how this qualifying session develops over the next 3 minutes and 37 seconds or so. First times coming in, bankers being set by Danny Van Dyke at the moment, 1 minute 3.357. Ginchard now hits the top. 1 minute 3.240 as Tom Adams in the 217 goes top with a 1 minute 2.293. Kai Hillertz up into 7th, ahead of Chris Harnan, Zen Ruderberg and Bart de Wit. Well, that was until Mike Van Vugt decided to jump in and go second. 1 minute 2.687 from the young Dutchman, based out of Volkswagen in the Netherlands. So Maurice Schuring up into 5th. Chris Harnan's 9th, ahead of Zen Ruderberg, who completes the top 10. They're separated by 2.2 seconds at this particular moment. But expect the times, as they did in the first Junior Max qualifying session, to drop rapidly. So Danny Van Dyke crosses the line and sets a 56.8. Machiels responds with a 56.779, just waiting for Van Vugt to cross over, as well as Ginchard, who gets his head down. Ginchard goes 5th, Bart de Wit up into 4th. Danny Van Dyke and Chris Harnan round out the top 3 behind Jeff Machiels, with just over 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. As Van Vugt jumps up into 3rd place, 56.940, and has behind him Chris Harnan and Bart de Wit, who complete the top 5. Jeff Machiels still on provisional pole in this group at the minute, 1 minute 50 on the clock remaining. So Danny Van Dyke's just about to come around to turn number 12, as is Jeff Machiels. Also got the 214 of Schuring. That's Maurice Schuring, currently in 17th. Let's see if he gets a bit... Oh, there's been a clash off of the exit. And that's 235 and also 262. They came together. 235, that's Callum Voisin. And the driver out of the car, that's 252 of Summer Webb. So Summer Webb clutching the left wrist at the minute. Hopefully Summers all okay. Has got out of the car unaided. So Callum Voisin, as a result of that, has dropped right down to the bottom of the timesheets, with 41 competitors running here this weekend in Junior Max. The second highest subscribed class this weekend, bettered only by the Senior Max division, which has around about 46 competitors. So, changes at the top. Danny Van Dijk hits the front, 55.475 now from the 254. And that's been quickly deposed by Chris Harnan, who goes even quicker with the 55.369. Van Vugt at the minute is still languishing in 6th position now. Just 1/100ths behind Max Demerdink. But Van Vugt gets quickly deposed by Tom Adams. But no, Van Vugt responds, and responds very, very well indeed, as I would expect from the defending champion. A 55.207. Checkered flag will be waved this time around for, I think, Danny Van Dijk, who will be coming around turn 11 very, very shortly, as he does now. So he'll be the one to get the checkered flag. What does Danny Van Dijk have to say towards Mike Van Vugt? We'll find out in about a couple of seconds' time, as he now crosses the finish line to go. No, he does not improve. Does not improve on that one. A 55.475 is his best time. He did a 55.488. Ginchard crosses the line, 6th. Kai Helix then in 6th. That was until Kai Helix jumps up to 6th. Van Vugt has crossed the line and remains top and improves even further still. 55.158 from the 201, the defending Junior Max BNL Karting Series champion. And it is a clean sweep of the top 3 for the Netherlands. So Mike Van Vugt takes top honours with the fastest time in this qualifying session, ahead of Chris Harnan. Danny Van Dijk with the top 3 separated by just 0.3 of a second. And then it's even further smaller increments to Jeff Machiels and Max Demerdink, with the top 5 separated by just under 0.38 of a second. Kai Helix, good job by the 274 from Belgium, running on the CRG chassis, finishing it faster ahead of Dan Ginchard from the UK. Lars Zanen, Tom Adams, and Zen Rudenberg completed the top 10, with Tom Adams managing, I think, to get away very lightly with that clash with Summer Webb a few minutes ago. Bart Witt, Patrick Snolls, Nock Mellis, Callum Voisin, Maurice Schuring, Jono Zopfi, Sam Bergstein, Maurice Bechtel, Samuel Stendis and Valentin Klus having all completed 5 laps of qualifying in this quick session, with Summer Webb having done a best effort of 59.167, qualifying in 20th position, but hopefully Summer's wrist is all okay. So that is the Junior Max stage of qualification in both groups, decided by lottery. And now it's the turn of our Senior Max drivers. Again, it will be the same qualifying format for them in terms of the heats, as Summer Webb's car is just being pulled down in towards Parc Fermé. So once the kart is in Parc Fermé, then they will release the first group of Senior Max qualifiers this very morning. Current temperature showing at around about 7 degrees Celsius. Real feel is around about sort of 5-ish. There is a little bit of a wind in the air, so it is providing a nice little breeze. But we're hoping that the temperatures will increase. Predicted to be around about 13 degrees. I'm hoping it's going to be higher than that, and that we have a lot more blue sky, which to the left of my commentary position is looking a bit more favourable rather than over the other side of the track, where there are a few more clouds in my field of vision. So, the first of our Group 1 Senior Max qualifiers now ventures out onto the track, followed by another. The first driver to cross the start-finish line is Nick van der Mosselaar from the Netherlands. Next up is Luca Den Hartog. And the time is now at 3 minutes and 28 seconds and counting down. So hopefully we'll have the drivers getting out very, very quickly. This is a shorter session, and when drivers are completing around about 5 to 6 laps for qualifying, the more that the tyres are rubber in, they're going to help with regards to grip on the asphalt as the day progresses. But obviously with warm-up, it's only 7 minutes. There's only so much setup and fine-tuning that the karts can have under the current regulations in terms of tyre pressures, camber and caster and that kind of thing as well. As the rest of the Junior Max field starts streaming their way, all fighting for track position before they've even come out of the exit. And there is now a swarm of Senior Max drivers now making their way out on track, which includes the likes of William Brunsils, Felix Varget, who I think had one of the best drives in terms of coming back from the lower 8 of the top 36 final yesterday afternoon and finishing in the top 12. That's a really good showing from someone who has also represented Team Belgium in the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals. I think it might have been Ben van der Stucken, might have to correct me, or Dave Ritson, but I think it might have been 2016 if memory serves me correctly, because Corby Bowles at that point was also representing Team Belgium, and Christophe Adams, who's gunning for a 14th appearance. And there'll only have been 19 at this point, but when we go to Sarno later on this year, it's going to be a case of, it could be number 14 for Christophe Adams, number 555 in DD2 Masters, as everyone's still jockeying for positions. Times are coming in, and at the moment, looks like we've got Ian Brunsils now at the top of the timesheets. No, look at Den Hartog's just done that and gone 56.588 in the 360. Clementine Benoit has just jumped up into second position on a 56.8. Expect the times to go sub 56, maybe even sub 55, but they've got 2 minutes to do it, so there is time. So if they cross the start-finish line with a handful of seconds to go, they'll stab at another chance at a flying lap. So at the moment it's Den Hartog from Benoit, Ilian Brunsils in third, as I say that, Sam Harrison from the UK in the 384 goes top with the 55.012. Good pace from the Brit, as Luca Den Hartog does a 21.9 in Sector 1. But Ilian Brunsils goes top and breaks 55 by a considerable margin, 54.188. Times are going to start changing rapidly. Ravenscroft now up into second, ahead of Teddy Clinton, with Victor Plateau and Charlie Turner rounding out the top 5. And in the top 8, 6 of them are Brit.